All right, here we go, everybody. Could be a break in the case. Could be the break that they have been waiting for. Apparently, the FBI, I'll give credit to the Daily Mail. They are reporting that the FBI is going to release a photo of a masked suspect in front of the home. Now, this is the front of the home. That is the main cam. We're going to stay close. Tucson again. Let's see. We're going to be walking around a little bit, but I want to just check it. The latest. This would be big. I want to get this verified. Hold on, everybody. Again, we are out in front of the home. Of Nancy Guthrie with could be a potential break in the case. Now, we are live right now on Facebook. We're live on X. We're live on YouTube. No press briefing planned. Oh, wow. Do we have images? We do have images. Holy cow. Oh, my God. Where do you guys see this? Wow. Hold on, everybody. Oh. Wow. All right. I want to quickly be in the shade where I can show you. These photos are just coming out. Wow. Holy cow. Here we go. It is horrifying. Whoa. Okay. These are photos from the home. Just released. Masked individual with tools. Masked individual with tools. Let me show you another one. Wow. And that's right straight ahead. You're looking right at, I'm going to zoom in. These are just being released. And I'm going to show you. See the arch? The arch is straight ahead. Images just being released. Tap the screen if you're on TikTok. Share that you are watching. This is a major break. Now that arch, it's right behind that cactus. You see the cactus close to the sheriff cruiser right there. Wow. I'm going to show a few more. So the FBI, it does look like a tool that the individual is holding. Again, right now, we are in Tucson. There he is. That looks like the masked individual or individuals, but at least one. Look at this. Outside, these were taken right there, straight ahead where you're looking at the house. I'm going to walk up to the house in just a moment. Who is that? Who is that? And that arch is right there. Wow, this is major. Holy cow. So I believe, yeah, there's 3 photos released. What a big development in the case. That is terrifying. Now, right now, there's only one individual that is shown. Let's see. New images. Oh, Cash Patel from the FBI. New images in the search. FBI working closely. There's actually 4 images. There's another. That's another one. But 2 of them are almost the same. Again, the FBI has just put out these photos. And I'm going to walk right down. Whew. The individual appears to have tampered with the camera at the front of the. Okay. Cover any images, video from the home may have been lost, corrupted, or inaccessible. Video recovered from residual data located backend systems. Previously inaccessible new images. Armed individual tampered with the camera at Nancy Guthrie's front door the morning of her disappearance. So this is a major break in the case. Eyes, facial hair, what are the clues? So this is out. No press briefing planned. Who knows who that is? How? Now, in just a moment, we're going to walk right down. But I think this photo, show it like this. This photo was taken from the camera. Look at somebody knows who that is. Someone knows who that is. Look at the individual right there in the mask. So now, if you're on TikTok, we have again our live gift of donuts. We're also on YouTube and X. Now, I want to show you, we're going to walk right up to where that was taken to show you how close. If you're watching on TikTok, make sure you tap the screen. Now, we're going to be live with our radio partners in just a moment. But that front right there we go. Make sure you tap the screen if you're watching. Now, everybody wants to go and get, and I understand, that door shot. Oh, they're inside. Okay. So everyone's following. That looks like a tech. Again, this is the house. Oh, delivery. Okay, so maybe there's people working inside. But there is right there. He's got the shot. That's where you see the individual. Right there. Oh. So I guess he was delivering pizza. Yeah. So you must have workers inside. So a pizza delivery man, that's what everyone has swarmed around. I believe he's saying he was a pizza delivery man. Huh. Or is he? Do we? Sheriff. Uh, Sheriff. So is he definitely a pizza delivery guy? Well, he just. Oh, okay. Huh. Unless it's someone just entering the home. All right, we're going to give him room to work. So that guy claims he was delivering a pizza, but that almost sounds like something that the Daily Mail would do. And they're all swarming around him, and I'll go down to that. But that is the front door, and you can see where the individual approached. So again, this is day 10. That's the home of Nancy Guthrie. The FBI, I'll show it again, but they have just released some images. This could be a break in the case. And what is amazing is you do see a masked individual, and he appears to have a tool in his hand. So, but here's the thing: the pizza guy, he claimed he doesn't even know who lives in that house. He was delivering a pizza, but I'm trying to figure out, how did he get past the sheriff? I mean, just don't know. Or could it be some kind of a prank? But there's the house that's right in the doorway. Oh, maybe someone ordered a pizza. Oh, okay. Somebody ordered a pizza from him. I think that's JLR. You you went right up to the door? Nobody went inside? Wow. Do you want to give a plug for your? It's just local Domino's. Yep. Yep. It is. Okay. All right. Do you want to give a shout out to anybody? No. Okay. All right. Thank you. There it is. So JLR. All right. We're gonna go back. That's kind of hilarious. Ordered it to that house, the address, and all right. Right now we are outside of Nancy Guthrie's home. We've got a major development here, as the FBI has released these photos of an individual. Well, we're going to walk around a little bit. An individual with a mask and tools. So this is a big break in the case. This is the first we've seen this. So that is somebody entering. And again, now we're back a little bit. Entering the home that morning. Now, right now, again, we're live on our TikTok channel. We're also live on X. We're live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. If you are watching, and also obviously on the radio, AM 1380, 99.9 FM. So this could be a major development. The major development is not the Domino's pizza delivery person that went right up to the door and rang the bell. I thought maybe there were workers inside. It was actually delivered for some members of the media that were down on the right, but that certainly caused a flurry of activity. But let's get back to, this is major, that we've had a big break. Again, if you're watching on TikTok, please tap the screen. Make sure you follow the page. So this is, as much as people were wondering about, is it possible? So that individual, was that individual in the the pictures, the images, I should say, that the FBI's released, is that the individual that was sending the ransom notes. I mean, this is much, much different. Again, I realize if you listen to the radio, you can't hear it, but I want to go show exactly. That's right. So the that is really, really remarkable. And now it's really gone to a terrifying level here with who is that? What's the mask? What's the clothes? Images released regarding this suspect identified in the kidnapping. So FBI releases images of armed individual appearing to have tampered with the camera the morning of her appearance. He's got on a ski mask and tools. So now I also want to read. People are focusing on exactly what Kash Patel, the FBI director, has said. And the way it's described, an armed individual appearing to have tampered with the camera. New images in the search. May have corrupted, removal, video is recovered, backup system. New images showing an armed individual. We have that. Someone has to know that person, obviously. I'm just scrolling right now. Suspect photos released, images. I heard some people saying, what's the difference of a suspect armed individual appearing tampered? How? People are going to break down the clues. Let me, there's no press briefing. The sheriff is not conducting any one-on-one interviews. They put that out. Wow. So people are, okay, we're going to walk a little bit, but this is a big break in the case. And we are right here at the home of Nancy Guthrie. I was here this morning with Live on Court TV. And this establishes several things. Number one, it really does look, I know people were pointing at different people, but this really, who is it in the mask? Actually, I'll show it again. Who is it in the mask that approached the home right in front of you in the early morning hours of February 1st, a week ago from Saturday? So I think, let me see. Let's see. I think there, oh, in this video. Okay. I'm going to show it. So there's video of the person. Don't worry, I'm going to keep showing it. There's the video of the individual backpack, ski mask. How? All right, so this is a big development. Someone's got to be able to recognize who this person is. It is also, again, this is all from the FBI. You can see them, I think, tampering with the camera. So they were able to get into the back of it. But the first video shows the individual almost like loitering around there. Again, we are right, this is right at the house. Look at the individual then going back and forth. Let me bring that shot back. Again, this is a big change in the story. And here it is again, folks, we're on the fly. trying to pull it up. Now, I think this is seemingly the break that may have been needed. Hold on. Here's the one that I think is bad. Yeah, these are not the, they already are starting to be everywhere. There he is. I see him right there. And then he goes up to the camera. Looks like almost like a boxing glove. Gloves on. Trying to interfere with the camera. Then goes back. So that individual would seem is the one that took out Nancy Guthrie. Nancy. Let me go back. And again, this is all happening right now as we speak. This is a big break in the case. I notice a couple things about this. We're going to walk that the FBI are the ones that put this out. So I'd love you to put in your comments, what do you make of this? This is a big development. This is day 10. We are live right now on our Facebook page. We're live on our YouTube page. We're live on X. We are also live on the radio. If you're watching on TikTok, please tap the screen. I'd love a nice donut. It was a very early morning. We were out here. But let's walk a little bit, but at the same time, and what you can hear are generators, and you can also hear the drone overhead. But now several things we should take away from this. Notice it's the FBI that put it out, and Kash Patel put it out. And it was not, thank you, it was not put out by, the sheriff. It was put out by the FBI. So now it's also interesting. They're still not saying they have any type of press briefing planned. So if you're watching on Facebook, you can obviously share that you are watching. I know I keep saying I'm going to walk around a little bit, but my phone is just popping surveillance photos and a potential suspect with Nancy Guthrie. And it, without question, I mean, that is really, that is a big, huge development. This is the development that they have been waiting for. And, yesterday with the deadline coming and going, and then still nothing on that. And, last night, and again, they haven't had any type of press briefing. And then last night, and then all of a sudden, you get something like this. So, which is a huge difference. So, I believe you got to think that with facial recognition and some of the other tools, the fact that they have now these videos and images, that tells me they're going to be able to get, I would think, they're going to be able to track who was in this area. Now, the person that you see in the photo, that is in fact, he's got on the mask, he's got a backpack, and he's got gloves. So the question now is, are they going to be able to track anything? So there's the front of the house. Are they going to be able to track any phones or vehicles that were in the area? That's what it's really going to come down to. But I think this is a huge break that they have in the case. And there again, this is the memorial that some neighbors have set up out in front. I think they were the guys that had the pizza. It's a little hectic right here. Again, this is day 10. We're going to go back in front of the house. There was actually a decent shot that we had. It'd be curious now. I think those are just some neighbors. Be curious if we see any of the sheriffs come back to the house, so maybe they have enough. But what enough info is what I'm saying after processing the scene. But what also, again, here is the house, there's the driveway. So are they able to track who is it that went right up to that door and seemingly did they have a vehicle nearby? That's Jake Tapper of CNN. So he's on scene. See him right here. So that's Jake Tapper of CNN. You know, so here they're doing a stand up right behind the vehicle. All right, again, I realize this is a little, I'll admit it's a little challenging with this, but this is truly right on the ground. And this could end up being a big development of the case. Now, all the videos, by the way, we are going to get them up to link them all on our website, depetro.com. And again, just to repeat our platforms, thank you everyone that is following. Again, we have people on TikTok, we have people on Facebook, we have people, thank you to everybody on YouTube. And this is a huge development. And I'll tell you several things. Number one, there have been people, admittedly, the whole element of like, was there really a ransom note sent? And was she really abducted? And let's be honest, there are people that were pointing the finger. I'm just pausing here. There were people that were speculating that it was a family member who was involved. So what this does, and again, I want to show you, there's the front door right through there. See that big cactus? And then you see the front doorway. That's also where blood was found, by the way. That's where that's where those droplets were found. So there's the front door. It is a circular driveway, by the way. So, but what that also shows, we'll go down here just a little bit, is the fact that, I mean, right now with those FBI video and images, somebody went right there. That front door had tools. So right now, it would sure seem as though that individual is the individual who has abducted Nancy Guthrie. And the release by the FBI, and I think that's also significant, by the way, that the FBI, they're the ones to put it out. It's not like they just handed it off to the sheriff and said, okay, you can put it out. No, the Cash Patel, the FBI are the ones that put it out. We've also heard that they've kind of been battling a little bit with some of the locals. And now we have this image. So I want to also be very clear. This certainly leads credence to, that's the generator, that someone did in fact abduct her. Well, the question is, who was, well, there's a lot of questions. Who was it? Where are they? And where is she now? Is that possible? Is it possible? And again, for those that are just tuning in, this is a live look. This is the home of Nancy Guthrie. Savannah Guthrie is in the area locally. We're live right now again. Thank you, everybody on TikTok. Make sure you follow the page. Please tap the screen. Same thing if you're on YouTube. Please click the like button. That helps us get more of our videos out. Facebook has always been great. But this certainly, right now, sure seems as though that individual is the person that the police and the FBI are looking for that could lead to Nancy Guthrie. So, and I want to come back, there was speculation. Did that, okay, and I think Savannah has just put out another video. I believe Savannah Guthrie has put out yet another video. Oh, she put out the FBI video. Okay. How? She put out the images of the suspect, the person. So, who is this person? Who is the person in the mask that actually went in there? And it sure seems as though, I mean, there's been no shortage of people saying they didn't think, that she would still be alive and we're looking for a body. You can certainly put in the comment. I think this raises the specter that she absolutely could still be alive. Now the question though is it's really, who is this person? Who is the person that is seeing that house right in front of you? Picture how terrifying. You're 84 years old, and this is the person that's outside your door. So Savannah Guthrie released that saying, "We believe she's still alive. Bring her home." So what a huge development in the case. Really, really incredible. So I want to just go back and also try to give you the latest. And folks, again, I want to mention, we do have great sponsors that support us. And I ask you to support them. Propane Plus online at propaneplus.com. Remember, if you ever have a problem, contact Serve Pro of Providence. If you have a fire or a flood, any type of disaster, contact Serve Pro of Providence. And that is who you'd want to call should you have disaster strikes. So again, I want to just repeat, you can just tell, because like everyone else, there's been so many theories out there. And I don't know what to think of, by the way. There's some people saying that think, I don't know what to think about the whole story and so forth. Honestly, that no one is thinking that right now. But this potentially a big game changer in the case that they now have an image of who right, let me just adjust it. Our stream is back. Everybody hold on. And we should be good to go. Sorry about that. All right, we are back on our Facebook feed. Sorry about that, Pete. And also on YouTube and so on X. This is challenging for a variety of different reasons. One is there's a residential neighborhood, the amount of media that has descended here. And as a result of that, the reception is a little spotty to begin with. But then when you have this type of crowd, it makes it even that much more difficult. I also realize there's a generator right there that is making, a little bit of sound. But this is the front, just so you're clear. This is the front of Nancy Guthrie's home. And we've had a big development in the case with the FBI releasing images. This is another example why you should call Capitol Fence. That's one thing I would recommend as I look at this property. If they had had a fence, it's that much more difficult to try to get in, but no fence there. So call Capitol Fence today and online capitalfenceri.com to protect yourself and your family and your employees with Capitol Fence. Again, this is day 10. So now, who is that individual? Who is that in the mask? Are they able to now track? Someone could look at that photo and say, I think I know who that is. And that's really what they need to have happen. Now, I want to stay on schedule and also at the same time just read some of the latest news on this because it's really happening rapidly on this day 10. Okay, Pete is saying we're good to go. Listen, it can happen. We try to do this. Okay, and we are back. But let me, I was mentioning this morning that I was wondering if Savannah Guthrie was maybe going to address everyone, but I think this is the person in the photo seemingly has a possible firearm and body armor visible. So someone is, I don't know who it is. Someone's saying, why is that a woman trying to pretend to be a man? We don't know whether it's male or female. I want to just, FBI Director Kash Patel. Again, this is fluid and just breaking. Uncovered images, an armed individual who tampered with the camera. Now, they don't say, is it male or female? It could be. Um, Paul Morrow is saying, advised more video to be released. Perp is heavily shrouded. Tune into body type, walk, and movements. He's not a pro. A plant to camera. Okay. Paul Morrow of Fox News is putting that out. I want to just see what some of the other members of the media are saying. So they want to look at body type. With the imaging they have, front holstered with a firearm, they believe in that shot. Okay. So, but this is far more than what they've had. I'll say that. Much more than what they've had. This is the most they've had. And this is, in fact, the Nancy Guthrie. So What I also want to come back to is this sure. Savannah Guthrie says they believe Nancy's still alive. I also want to touch on that. This also would point to that it is an actual kidnapping. So, and why is that important? It's important because there were people that started to question if the whole thing with the ransom notes, if it was a ruse of some kind. Was there someone that was just trying to take advantage of the situation and sent that with the Bitcoin? Or is the person in the photo the individual? So, right now, I'd be curious what type of imaging law enforcement has. And what I mean by that is there are there's elements of AI that you could, remove clothing. So are they able to do that accurately? And if there's someone in the chat that knows the answer to that, I'd be very curious about that. But could an AI program remove, be able to show people under the mask and under the clothing and identify more um, aspects, maybe um, more features, I should say, physical features of that individual? So this is yeah. I don't know I mean, I'll say this though. I know early on that was Ashley Banfield that said that the sister and the brother-in-law were suspects. But now we have this FBI image of a masked individual with tools going after the camera and also a weapon. And that is the image that they've now released outside. So now I also saw someone speculating, is it possible that individual that their part, it's got a backpack, it's got gloves, it's got a mask. He also knows the camera is there, which is interesting. So is that someone who is the individual they're looking for, or is that individual part of a team that they're that is working this, or so is it several group of people? I'm going to go with, but we don't know. Here's what we don't know: where did that individual come from? So when we're going to walk the street now, I know by walking it can put our Wi-Fi in jeopardy a little bit, but you have to, do they have that? Where did this person come from? I can tell you, there's no street lights here. It's pitch black at night. As I found out this morning, sun doesn't go up till 7 o'clock. I was live in Court TV at 8 o'clock Eastern, which was 6 o'clock here. So I was on the road at around 5 a.m. this morning, but 5 a.m. this time. So anyhow, my point is, how did that person get here? Are the FBI, are they in possession of video that shows a vehicle approaching or a person approaching? And that would also, let's talk about it. That would lead you to believe that this is someone that has, been to this home before and certainly cased it. How would you know a camera is there? That seemed very deliberate, the way that individual went right up to that camera. So I, again, at least now we have, they're saying a suspect. They want to know who went up to that house with the ski mask on and gloves, and it looks like tools and seemingly a firearm, some kind of a weapon, and went in. And by the way, that doorstep that front door step that you're looking at in the shot, you see the sheriff is now standing outside of his car, and the doorway is behind him. Now, that's according to the family member that dropped her off, that's not the door that she went in and noticed the circular driveway, but that's where the blood droplets were found. So now we have blood droplets found. There's another sheriff arriving. Blood droplets found. And now we have the image of the suspect that was at that front door. So this is a much clearer picture. This also, there are individuals that have been repeating what Ashley Banfield was saying. And there were people saying with of um, the amount of years that she has, she wouldn't just say something like that. But this this is a big clue because now it's very clear. And I'm going to show the images again in just a moment, but it's very clear. Whoever put um, whoever was entering her home with the mask and the gloves and playing with the camera, by all accounts, at the very least, that is someone that would have some information for the whereabouts of Nancy Guthrie. You can see the sheriff, another sheriff arriving. A lot of times they come in shifts. Again, for those that are just tuning in, now we are live on TikTok. Please make sure you tap the screen. This was it's been a big media circus, as you can imagine, and now it's turned into even a bigger one now. But at least they have some leads. More video of his approach. Appears to keep the head low, fearing a camera above him. Some of his walk here. Can't tell if they're right-handed or left-handed, but definitely approaches. I'll show it again. This is the image that the FBI has put out. And you see the individual approaching the front door that is right in front of you. And we also do have helicopters overhead. So see how they drop the head. I'll put it over here as well. So someone, that's who they're looking for. That's a helicopter. We don't know where else they're searching. So we'll walk the street. So the question, and thank God it's cloudy today. My goodness. Yesterday the phones they were overheating. Again, just to recap, and this is big. So the FBI has released now some images. If you are watching on TikTok, make sure you tap the screen. Please follow the page. Thank you for those donuts or an iced coffee or what have you. Again, everybody else who's watching on Facebook or X or also on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, please tap the like button. Always helps our YouTube channel. Facebook family is 1380 and 99.9 FM. So this certainly is, this at the very least, this is a huge clue. We don't have to go over how many people have speculated how it would seem that law enforcement and the sheriff kind of dropped the ball in the early parts of this investigation. There's a lot of different talk about that. There's a lot of different ways. We have also heard that the FBI has been somewhat clashing with some of the locals. And listen, that can happen because people that are used to being in charge are suddenly not in charge. So that's why then sometimes we're going to walk. These types of things can happen. But I think by now, I think it's interesting. They did not have that right away, meaning, what did it take in order to pull up that video? and get that from the camera. Now, we had heard that there was definitely like some damage done to the camera, and now we know why. So now we start to get a clearer picture. So I think for those, this enters a new phase for this entire story, and that is the fact that now having that, now we know who we're looking for, and this also certainly shows. And I fully get that people were saying it's the family. It's like I'd see it all. People coming in the chats, um, but this is much different now that they have that. So again, this media camp, oh, there's the sheriff, is not getting smaller, but instead getting larger. Or maybe they just have two sheriffs on the scene now because there are so many press that are here. And everyone's kind of spread out a little bit. This looks like the CNN camp right there. You see Jig Tapper, some of their reporters. Here's the little memorial. Well, maybe they're going to keep two sheriffs out here. And you can see as far, the cars go all the way down there. And that's all media, and that's also different people that are arriving really from all over. So, but again, right now, be very curious. This is big. We don't know. This is another example of that the FBI have more than what they've said. And I also want to point out that I think it's significant that the FBI chose to put those images out, and that they did not hand it off to the sheriff, and Cash Patel put it out. So to repeat, that is, now again, these are all some local stations. There's stations here from LA. There's Aaron Katursky from ABC. I was chatting with Aaron yesterday. And then it goes all the way down. But again, this is again the front of the home. We're going to move back up where we were. It's hectic. It is. We'll come down this way. That's Brian from News Nation. He was in town with the Brown University shooting. So the image of the FBI, that really changes a lot. So again, this is day 10. We are out here, Tucson. That is the home of Nancy Guthrie. And this is really the first big development that they have had. And that is the images. And those images will be everywhere. And people need to share them. And this could end up being, could this end up being a major break in the case that they've been looking for? So a couple of things again. How did that individual arrive here? How did he or she, by the way, how did they arrive here? Where did they get that mask? Is there a mask like that? Was there one sold in Tucson? We don't know. What about the gloves? Is that the person that sent the ransom note? We don't know. Is that the person that sent the ransom note? Is the person that sent the ransom note the person in that image that went up to that house and seemingly abducted Nancy Guthrie? right there, all unknown. Now, people want to shoot the front, so I don't want to just stand in the front like that. It's a little, I realize it's a little noisy up here with the generator, but I know what it's like to have people walking to my shot. Now, here's the thing. Now the FBI needs another break. They need someone to say, wait a minute, I know who that is. I know who's the individual in that photo that um, went up to the house. That's what they're gonna. That's what they're gonna need right now. So it's not only a big development; it's really the first major. And what this also does is this reinforces that she was, in fact, abducted. Because, like everyone else, I was on a panel this morning and you had someone saying that they didn't believe the ransom note, and I understand that. And they weren't convinced it was a kidnapping. And they said, I think what we really have here is a murder investigation. But the image of that person approaching, and again, thank everybody for tuning in. This is not easy, but this is the story. And we are out in Tucson, and it's I'll be able to learn more this afternoon. That I have some ways out. I also want to be very clear, and people need to understand it's very possible that the FBI already has an idea of who it is they're looking. I mean, it could be, but sometimes it's not easy to track someone. Again, thank you if you're watching on TikTok. Please make sure you tap the screen and follow the page. And everybody on Facebook and YouTube, thank you. You can always support the show. This is not easy. On Court TV this morning, and now, as I said, this case, this story is getting small. Now it is manhunt. Now it's a question of, is that person in the photo, and who is it? You got to wonder also, when did Savannah Guthrie, maybe when did she see that? When did she see? People are speculating that the person has a beard. Someone else said they think it's female. Paul Morrow, he does not appear to remove the Nest camera, so we can definitely pin this to the time camera that goes dead at 1:47. So that's interesting. So that is now time, which also coincides with that one. So I want to recap. The FBI has released images. Not only are they out there, you're going to see them everywhere. I want to also, again, let's go back to the Brown University. Granted, they had the video right away, an image of the suspect crossing the street. And then the more video they were able to get of that individual, then they were able to identify the homeless guy, John, that had a run-in with him at Barris and Holly. So this then could become like a connect the dot. And what I mean by that is, now you need who is lurking in the area, who's been here before. You got to understand, the FBI, they have access to far more of this stuff than any of the locals do. So, in other words, is there someone now saying, there's a guy that came in and used the bathroom at Starbucks not long ago seemed to be that size and build. There's a helicopter in there, by the way. Is there someone, there's a CVS right around here. Is there someone that says, they can pull, by the way, the camera from all the local retailers, but is there somebody that went into one of the local stores and someone said, that kind of reminds me of this odd person that came in that morning or that night or that day and bought something, used the bathroom, restroom, what have you. The fact that they have the images now, this is big because now it really becomes who is that? And it also, there's those images and say, wait a minute, I think I know who that is. So now it becomes how close are they may be able to get. Keep in mind with Brown University, once they were able to determine he had had the run-in with John, the so-called homeless guy, then they could find him. Then he told them the story of, yeah, there was this guy riding around and he had the license plate. Then they did the hit on the license plate, and then they were able to track exactly who they were looking for. So these images change a lot of things. These images really now could start to lead this case to some kind of conclusion. So now, again, big day. The images are everywhere. I want to thank Pete. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Now, as I said, if there's a press briefing, we're going to cover it. I'm going to wait to see some more of the events. I have some other things to follow up on. I have someone that is reaching out to me that thinks they have some information on who this person is. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. If you're listening to the radio, stay tuned for the 2:00 news. Everyone else, the story of the day is this is a big break in the search for Nancy Guthrie as the FBI has released images of an individual that they show outside the home right before they suspect she was abducted. So, listen, thank you everybody for tuning in again. This is not easy to do this type of coverage. Thank you everybody on TikTok for tapping the screen. Okay, it can happen when we get frozen. All right, thank you. We'll be back.